Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Tuesday, happy Tide Tuesday to everybody. Hope everyone's having a good day. Today we're gonna get right down to business. What we're gonna do? Well, first off, I miss y'all. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I miss everybody. I hate doing this stuff from home. Wish I was in class with you guys right now and just hanging out, telling bad jokes, and just see your faces here, what's going on with your lives. All right, back to business. We are gonna get right down to business today and start on um, our next unit, which is Unit 5, which is going to be credit. I know we talked about a little bit yesterday, but credit, you were supposed to interview somebody. Hopefully you did, and that you got an idea about how important credit is. Just to take a look at a couple of memes. The way your credit card company looks at you when you're racking up debt, and I guess the Kardashians something. Right. So a couple fun facts before we get started. Right. U.S. consumers rack up an estimated $51 billion worth of fast food on their personal credit and debit cards last year. That equals to 10.2 billion Big Macs meals, 3 billion pounds of fries, and 1.7 billion gallons of Coke. Average cardholder has 3.7 cards, and average household pays or spends $1,400 in credit card interest each year. We're going to show you how to minimize that and how to pay no interest. Before we do that, we're going to start learning target number 1, which is we're going to identify what credit is and its various types. All right, first off, to start off, credit is the ability to buy goods or services before payment with the assumption that it will be paid back on time. Right? So basically, you get now, pay later. That's credit. Get now, pay later. When we talk about credit, there's going to be 2 different types of credit that we're talking about. We got revolving credit and installment credit. Now, you probably know what these things are, just you haven't heard them said this way. Our revolving credit allows the consumer to spend and borrow to a specific amount. And so we're going to talk about first in detail. These are your credit cards. All right. And then installments is a one-time loan paid off in installments. These are your school loans, your mortgage, and your car loans. All right. You borrow one time and you pay back monthly. Revolving credit is you borrow, you pay back, you borrow, you pay back, you borrow, you pay back. All right. So this is borrowing many times. This is borrowing once. When we start talking about types of credit cards, which is going to be our first activity that we're going to go into in a second, we got 2 different types: bank ones and retail. Bank credit cards are cards from a financial institution, accepted almost anywhere. These are your Visas, your MasterCards, your Discovers, your American Expresses, your Capital Ones. Right? Those are all your bank cards. Retail credit cards are credit cards you get for a certain retailer that cannot be used anywhere. For example, my Kohl's card that I have that I love, I can only use my Kohl's card at Kohl's. I can't go to Target or I can't go to Portillo's and use my Kohl's card. Retail credit cards can only be made for purchases at that location. Now, there are some retail credit cards that pair with bank cards. I know Target has a card that could be used as a bank card as well, but that's a little different story. They pair with Visa. They have to go through a bank still, but for the most part, retail credit cards are cards that can only be used at stores. All right, let's write down our learning targets for learning target number 2, and then get to our activity. All right, learning target number 2 is all about open credit. And before we start talking about open credit, what you're going to do is you're going to go to Schoology. You're going to go to Unit 5, Assignments, and you're going to open up Credit Card Comparison. All right, credit card comparison is just going to let you compare different types of credit cards. As you see here, well, first off, you're going to put in notability. All right, so I did a teacher example for you. This first one is teacher example. All right, I did 2 different cards, Blue Cash Preferred and Blue Business Plus. I used this site here, NerdWallet, and I found different types of credit cards. Now, I did this last year, so mine might be a little different, but I found 2 different ones here. These are all bank cards. All right, you're going to press show more, or you're going to go to the actual site and learn more about this. All right, some of these have details on them, some of them don't. But if you need more, like if you want more about the Chase Sapphire card, you could compare cards. Let's just compare it with the Discover Cashback. And you see all the different types of things about it. All right, what you're going to do is you're going to see the recommended credit score, and we'll learn about what that is in a minute. Some fees, APR, is the interest fixed or variable, so circle one, grace period, and a couple features. All right, so you're going to do that for a couple different things. All right, you could use this website up here, like we just showed you. Or, well, for this first one, you're going to compare 2 Capital One credit cards. And you can use that website up there, or you go to Capital One website up here to make sure it works. And you can look at all the credit cards. 2 out of those 3 credit cards. Again, annual fee, late payment, fixed or variable, what's the APR, what's the intro, purchases, balance transfers, all that stuff. Second type is Chase. Again, you could use this website at the top, or you could use that website right there. You can pick 2 Chase cards, same thing. The last one is Bank of America. 2 cards, same thing. This is not gonna be due today. I'm gonna give you today and tomorrow to work on it. Tomorrow's video will just be a couple notes about learning jargon number 2. But I want to give you today and tomorrow to work on this. Make sure you turn this in no later than Wednesday at the end of the day. That's all I got for you. Remember, this is an assignment. This is something that I will be taking for a grade. So make sure you get that turned in. All right, make sure you enjoy your day. It's beautiful outside. Even though it's beautiful, it's going to be beautiful outside today. Please make sure you adhere to all the social distancing protocols. I want to get back to you guys as soon as possible. I know the earliest we can get back to each other is May 4th, but I want to get back as soon as possible. So please adhere to social distancing. Take care of yourself and each other, and I miss y'all.